Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society and to our annual poetry service, which celebrates the place of poetry in our lives with the words of poets from around the globe and poets from right here in our congregation. Then my name is Rosalind Woodward, and today I'm joined by the Reverend Kelly Crocker, Linda Warren, Drew Collins, and Dan Carnes, as well as those who are volunteering as greeters, ushers, hospitality providers from the Racial Justice Committee, or team, I guess we are these days. Lay ministers, sound operators, and our FUS poets. Hannah Pinkerton, Robin Chapman, Karen Polnitz, Bob Grossi, Barbara Sanders, Claire Box, Pat Stinger, and Jeff Glover. Many thanks to all of them for helping create today's service. And special thanks to our Anybody Choir for being here this morning. We have one more Anybody Choir next Sunday. Please join us at 8:10 a.m. if you would like to sing with them. At First Unitarian Society, we question boldly, listen humbly, grow spiritually, act courageously, and love unapologetically. If you're visiting with us this morning, welcome. We're so very glad that you're with us. If you'd like more information about First Unitarian Society, please stop by the welcome table, which is just to the left of the main doors here. And in the Commons. We hope you'll be able to stay and join us for coffee immediately after the service, also held in the Commons. And for those of you joining virtually, welcome. Welcome to you as well. We're so very glad that you're joining us. We hope you'll take a moment to watch the announcement slides shown immediately after today's service to learn more about our upcoming programs and activities. Our Children's Religious Exploration program begins in 3 weeks. We're looking for 6 people to fill our remaining teaching team spots at the 11 o'clock service. Only 6. We have a brand new class for 3- and 4-year-olds opening up at 11 a.m. If you were considering teaching this year, it's a great time to let our Director of Religious Exploration, Karen Polnitz, know. And she's going to be reading a poem later, so you'll know who you need to look for. And you can find her during the coffee hour to talk about it. On the weekend of September the 6th and 7th, we return to our regular worship schedule on Saturday afternoon at 4:30 and Sunday morning at 9 and 11. Our first service back will be our annual water communion ritual. We invite you to bring water from a place of meaning from your summer to mingle in our common bowl. We also ask that you email Reverend Kelly C. to let her know where your water is from so that a place is included in the liturgy. If you have questions, please see Kelly C. after today's service. And now, I invite you to join me in a moment of silence to center ourselves and bring ourselves fully into this time as we join together once again in community.
Today, I am thankful for morning frost touched by sunlight and sparkling on lawns and fields. I am thankful, too, for you and the warmth provided to my feet inside ordinary socks and shoes, and the way the music of your voice enters my ears and warms my heart, leaving this planet of ours spinning, if only slightly more easily. And I will consider how the world is good, difficult and good, and how a lifetime is both too short and too long, and how the injured heart cannot heal. But as researchers in Sweden have discovered, the muscle of our disadvantaged organ also can and slowly does replenish itself. Today, when the bigness of the sky asks whoever is standing beneath it, "Are you ready?" The gray trees drowsing and temporarily losing the last of their burnt sienna leaves, they will say yes, and you will say yes, and I will say yes too. And we invite you now to rise in all the ways we do and join us in the words of affirmation as we kindle our chalice. The chalice lit amongst us is a beacon of hope in a world in crisis, a beacon of possibility made manifest in community, a beacon of warmth through our interconnections, a beacon of light illuminating our shared wisdom, a beacon of connection by our being together. And before we join together in song, if you'll take a moment to turn and greet those around you.
Good morning. Good morning. We're going to stay risen to sing our opening hymn. I want to introduce it first, even though it's very familiar to us. In 1931, a poet named Eleanor Fargen was asked to write words to a traditional tune from the Scottish village of Bunessan for a new hymnal that was being compiled. She wrote a poem suitable for singing, which she called Thanks for a Day. We know it as Morning Has Broken. The hymnal was published, and 25 years later, she decided to include the poem on its own without the tune in an anthology of her poems under a new title, A Morning Song for the First Day of Spring, with a few words changed, important words. And we're going to sing the updated version this morning. You'll see the 4 altered lines in bold on your screen. They happen in verses 2 and 3, but we'll sing all 3 verses. Morning has broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall in the first hour. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness from the first shower. Bright is the sunlight, bright is the morning, born of the one light, Eden's praise. Praise with elation, praise every morning, spring's recreation of the first day.
Thank you. Please be seated. You're welcome. So, as is our tradition at this service celebrating poetry, we write a poem together. So, our theme this year and what we asked our poets to submit poems about is how to love the world. Not the easiest thing these days. So, our question to all of you, and we're going to use your responses to write a poem. How do you love the world? What keeps you loving the world in this moment? Raise your hand, shout it out. Yeah, Carol. Grow flowers. Open your heart. She's still on grow flowers. Grow flowers, open your heart. See the sun rise. I kind of like those as 2 separate lines, Roz. See the sun rise as its own line. You kind of do jazz hands with it a little bit. Rise. Healthy soil. And if any of you want to know that soil is not just dirt, do me a favor and talk to Larry at coffee hour. You will be so glad you did. Am I right? Where's Jim? Can I get an amen about that? Amen, exactly. Talk to Larry at coffee hour. Donna, walk in the woods. Yeah, Ray. The mountains are calling. Patricia. Okay. The mountains are calling. Listen to the birds sing. Oh! Somebody run up and give Palmer a good gold star this morning. Volunteer. Okay. Mountains are calling. Listen to the birds sing. Oh, I got it. Okay. Listen to the birds sing. Volunteer. In caps. Okay, there was one after volunteer. Open yourself up. Thank you, Neil. Open yourself up. She's got, listen to the birds sing. Volunteer. Open yourself up. Hang on one second. I heard hear children's laughter. Is that correct? Okay. Open yourself up. Hear children's laughter. Then I heard meditate. Smile. Oh, okay, Cleo, one sec, babe. Hear children's laughter. Apparently not. Hi, Kathy. Do you have one? Okay, hang on one second. Meditate and then smile. And then I'm going to go to Cleo, and then I'm going to come over to Kathy. And then you can turn the page. Oh, that sounds like a line on its own. Turn the page. No. Cleo. Sorry, one second. What was the first part? Feed the birds and the squirrels. Let me see if it's sticky. Is it sticky? It is sticky. Well, not if I rip it, though. I love sticky. Feed the birds and the squirrels. 1 second, Kathy. Each human is just one human. Got that? Yes. Each human is just one human. You're not saying that with confidence. Hello, choir. Give me 1 second. I'm going to work my way over to you. Oh, wait, I can move. She can still hear me. The people on the moon can hear me. Stephanie. Each human is just one human. Make and listen to music. Speaking of music, I'm going to make my way over to our musicers. Dale. Hi, love. What you got? Hi, Linda. Experience awe. If only, we gotta love our Linda. She's the best. Donna? Dance. Elizabeth? Spend time with friends. Nancy Kossoff, I'm coming. All right, Nancy Kossoff. Dance, spend time with friends. Absorb hang on, she's still with friends. Wonder, absorb the sweetness. Absorb the sweetness of pets and babies. Hi, Jackie. Okay. Forgive, Roz. Paula. Roz is going to be here till Thursday. All right, hang on. All right, you got forgive. All right, I'm going to use Paula as our closing line because that's amazing. So Paula, hold it for 1 second. Cherry? Sit in dappled light. Dave, are you raising or pointing? Hi, can you yell to me? Purple. Right? I mean, how to love the world. Purple. Have y'all seen that video of the kid who says purple? It's kind of amazing. Mike. Wade in the water. Children, wade. Yes. These are all necessities. Wade in the, you got it, water. These are all necessities. Cleo. Remember to feed and pet your cat. Your cat thanks you for that one. All right, I think I'm going to, oh, Nancy Dawn. With big arms. With big arms. Remember to feed and pet your cat. Can't remember the poem. With big arms. And now I'm coming to Paula. Oh, one more up there. Hi. Oh, thank you. Oh. With big arms. Was that right, Nancy Dawn? With big arms. Big. Hold the heartache. As if it is your own. Okay. As if it is your own. And now I'm coming back to my friend Paula. What, hun? Joy said, let Paula write it on there herself. All right, we're going to chunk it for Roz here. Because she is an amazing scribe, but not the fastest scribe. What did I say? It's
No. Being enriched by all that.
okay. Being enriched by all that was said.
By all that has been said. Being one human.
I need to get her a keyboard. She can type it up there. Next year, I'm getting Roz on technology. By all that has been said. Ooh, being one, okay, comma. Being one human.
Do all that one human can.
Do all that one human can do. Write that one. Let's see what we got. How to, are we good? Somebody. For good. Do all that one human can do for good. Do we feel like we got it? I'm going to scan the room. I feel like we should just, the board will be here if you need to add things to it later. Come on up. All right. What do we got? How to love the world. Grow flowers. Open your heart. See the sun rise. Healthy soil, walk in the woods, the mountains are calling. Listen to the birds sing. Volunteer, open yourself up, hear children's laughter, meditate, smile. Feed the birds and the squirrels. Each human is just one human. Make and listen to music. Experience awe. Dance. Spend time with friends. Absorb the sweetness of pets and babies. Forgive. Sit in dappled light. Purple. Wade in the water. These are all necessities. Remember to feed and pet the cat. With big arms, hold the heartache as if it is your own. Being enriched by all that has been said, being one human, do all that one human can do for good. What? Oh, I think they're asking to move it so they can, is that what you were asking for? Thank you, everyone. That is fantastic. And I am going to say out loud so I remember, we should put this in the red floors this week so everybody can see it. That is the most Unitarian Universalist poem ever written. We're going to sing, and as we do, anyone who'd like to head off to summer fun is invited to do so.
Let's rise in body and or in spirit so we can sing our hymn number 1051, We Are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We are sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We are seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We are sisters of mercy and fathers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We are seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
The invitation of poetry, according to Muriel Rukeyser, is to bring your whole life to this moment. This moment is real. This moment is what we have. Each summer, we hold a service dedicated to the power of poetry. Words from poets known to us in this community, and the words of poets that have touched our hearts. Our hope is that through this service, you will be moved by the power of poetry, which has a way to bring us truth and beauty with a concentration of words. Maybe you will be inspired by the words of your fellow members to explore poetry, to sit with poems, to allow them to be your companions, your teachers, your loves. Perhaps you will be inspired to write some of your own. In a world of speed and efficiency, poetry demands a certain consideration, a slowing down, an ask for connection. It offers belonging. And so we invite you to step into the presence of these poets. Open yourselves to their words, their experiences, their losses, and their deep, abiding wonder and joy. Our theme this year, how to love the world. Our poets are bringing us many ways to do just this. Their words model for us the kind of mindfulness, of paying attention to, that our lives call us to, reminds us that hope, no matter how slight it might seem, is as pressing a human need right now as food, water, shelter, or rest. We may survive without hope, but we cannot thrive. Poems continue to ground us in our lives, to help us find in each moment the chance for joy, amazement, and connection. As the poet James Cruz reminds us, birds migrate and caribou circle the cold top of the world. Perhaps we migrate between love and suffering, making our wounded, joyous cries alone, then together, alone, then together. Oh, praise the soul's migration. I am again in love with the world.
I'm reading this for Robin Chapman, who couldn't be here today, and she's dedicated this poem to John and Andrea. Hope is the thing that bashed into their sliding glass door, heading perhaps for the green forest of wallpaper glinting from their room, hit and dropped to their balcony on a 23rd floor in the Bronx in a shuttered pandemic year of slow work and family deaths and closed doors. And they went to the window to look and covered her with a towel and carefully pulled her in to find her white eye ring staring wildly, her curved beak broken, her cheeks dusty and neck feathers pecked. Took her in and posted signs asking if anyone had owned her, lost her. And when no one claimed her, made her cookies of honey seed, a perch to stand on, puzzles to work, ordered online a cuttle bone for her health. Hope rode their shoulders as they wrote or played the bass, deep notes from gut. And though I kept asking her name, when we texted, they didn't know yet. Found a cage for her to shelter in, covered her at night in quilts for sleep. Worry closed out. Potty trained her by day to poop on command. Dusky conure with blue tail, red chest, green back, who's adopted them as part of her flock. Now she's Chi-Chi, and Merlin has been added to the mix.
For nearly 2 decades, it has been my good fortune to live on the shores of the Yahar River. The poem I'm about to read has been inspired by that experience, entitled Night on the River. The hour of dusk comes calling, calling. Sure and soon light fades away. Apollo, sun, is leaving, leaving, lending clouds their red array. Meanwhile, Luna, rising, rising, shows her fullness, bright all night. Stars above her, sparkling, sparkling, wink awake with blinking light. Crickets start their chirping, chirping, almost like a symphony. Nocturnal creatures, waking, waking, singing their sweet harmony. On the river, blowing, blowing, wind brings ripples more and more. Water moving, waving, waving, gently lapping to the shore. Night is bathed in beauty, beauty, graced by pine trees all around. Slender needles whisper, whisper, in the wind a restful sound. Nature tells us stories, stories, along the river on display. Many marvels, glories, glories, as the daylight fades away.
I'm inspired to love the world by stories in many forms, books and screens and ones I overhear at the grocery store or bus stop. This is the story of a woman that I knew when she was 90 years old, and this was an experience that happened some years ago, so she experienced a part of the world that I never knew, but she was an inspiration. If you write me a poem, make it one with flowers in it, she says. So here they are, sunflowers and daffodils and periwinkles and daisies. Sunflowers that grew up in the rows of the cotton fields she picked for the mill she wove the cloth in. For the cotton, she says she'd rather pick than dyeing, 'cause dying's harder work than cotton picking, that she always thought was the hardest. And a surprise of the 8 daffodils for the 8 kids that she raised, and the one that was killed by the train and lingered for a day hemorrhaging, and the mother that was hit by a streetcar, and periwinkles for the pretty baby, the prettiest blue-eyed baby she ever had, that grew up and went through so much. and daisies for the cow that she brought in from the pasture every night, and the boy she met there just back from the war. The one saying, "How about we get married?" And she saying, "You kidding?" And she was only 12. And he came in the night, and she slept in her clothes and crawled out the window. And his brother drove the buckboard, and they got married. And then the 8 kids, the first starting when she was 14, the last at 40. And how, in the end, all the stories just washed away to nothing but love. Pure, white, dazzling, like sun on flowers.
How is it I find myself suddenly old, my words hovering on the edge of recall, taunting, legs an embarrassing web of purple, ankles puffy, my conversations filled with aches and pains, things I can no longer do. How is it I saw it coming but wasn't prepared, as if it were an intellectual exercise, a topic for discussion at book club or meditation group, something I could ward off with exercise and diet, as if I could think my way through it, as if it were not a matter of heart. After 70 years of clinging to intellect and looking for signs, how to put aside the way it's supposed to be and open as a lily to the morning sun, how to put aside fear and see with my heart.
Embracing this moment when the heart is heavy and song has been lost, all seems gloom and dark. Death of a dear friend, kidneys failing in loved cat, feeling lonely, no family here. Open my eyes to the beauty. Birds chirp at window feeder. Flowers in glorious bloom. Just take one small step. Embrace the wonder, gift of simply being alive.
For we so loved the world that we gave of ourselves again and again to heal her and help her grow. We loved the moments, so we gave our sacred presence to all that surfaced from the street, smell of raindrops, flutter of leaves, white caps on rolling waves, and the last time we heard her laughter. All the tiny things we learned were really big. We loved each other, so we gave care and service and gratitude to feed the children, to nurse the sick,
to create spaces of love and belonging for generations to come, whose ancestors had long been told they were unwelcome. We loved to create, so we gave poems full of promise, offering hope to weary hearts, dances in the wind, celebrating joy abundant, murals of our memories, making room for the pain of grief and the gleam of possibility. We loved la tierra misma, the earth itself, and all her creatures, so we gave time to tend the gardens, power to protect the trees, and gentle hands to clean the streams. All this we gave, and gave, and gave, and found that in giving, we received and received. For we so loved the world, and oh, how the world loved us back.
how to love the world. How to love the world is this, more than mere surmise. A million ways too good to miss, and most will not surprise. Consider first, your heart has hope, how precious, warm, and dear. Many ways to live and cope while happy to be here. And more than this, a chance for joy, a path that can be planned, a way for talents we employ, and courage to take a stand. Besides this gathered gratitude for all the good we share, embodied in an attitude that life sometimes is fair. While beauty can surround our lives like flowers full of promise, and love can grow with deep surprise by kindly words upon us. Our lives have possibilities, so many yet to see, and with our best abilities, a better world may be. And though much darkness is a cloud that rages all around, we can see it's not allowed where common sense is found. We have a way to change each day in how we want to live. Yes, we can, and we may, with many gifts to give. To show that beauty can succeed, as nature shows the way, to work with hope, to meet each need, most hours of our day, as well as simply have a rest to refresh us as we cope, and then again to do our best with courage, will, and hope. And so inspire our living hours with beauty every day, a confidence in all our powers to help life's music play.
Cycles of Change from Hannah Pinkerton. First light pulls me out the door to watch sun hit tops of trees, lowering to purple clematis, dropping to dew on lady's mantle. Today, a tiny shoot sticks up. Over years, it will become a living, breathing maple tree, intertwined with others, sending out seed for new growth. Over 50 years, my garden changed from bare to spare to full. Plants and ideas intertwine with neighbors, friends, family, common fertile ground.
Middle ground found. To this elusive, this lost place, distant as Middle Earth or Never Neverland, from all sides you come at last, tread a tangled course of woods and bluffs, torrents and bogs. Climbing and sliding, you circle and retreat through mud and sand, across dry barrens, to this new place, firm underfoot, unfamiliar but fertile, rich soil for growth, where a garden can blossom if you tend it, all you who come here, and delight together in its fruits, at once sweet and tart, like rhubarb.
Oak Ridge, Tennessee, 1946, by Robin Chapman. It's the morning of the world I want to tell you about. The world of East Tennessee, red clay and crabgrass in its spiky rosette patches. A child's morning after cream of wheat or cinnamon toast. The years before the school bus loomed for us, late again, racing down the road. The mornings when the fathers had bicycled or carpooled off to work. The mothers had turned to making beds. And we burst out of our Semesto 6 basic floor plan houses to the backyards and greenbelt woods left by the Army engineers for camouflage in our gated town. Place we already knew dimly, proudly, to be the home of the atom bomb. It is the everyday mornings, I mean, when we rushed out eager to find what new rabbit trails could be seen in the wet grass, what ripe blackberries could be found in the briar patch, whether the plums and apples were still green, whether Honey Bunch's kittens had opened their eyes yet. The mockingbirds sang us the songs of every bird in our kingdom in one long stream from a corner tree. It was paradise, seeing the world through morning eyes and the mockingbird's knowledge that we took from the tree.
Does it matter? I'll die before this precious planet succumbs. So why bother to recycle, compost, decrease needless spending, unless I remember all those I love who are so very young? Their lives and the lives all over this precious planet. So if I take one small step, food waste in our compost. So if I pay attention and carefully recycle. And we all did this here at FUS. And if the ifs started talking to each other, bringing more into the fold, could it multiply? 100,000, 1 million, 1 billion? Perhaps then the ifs could slow down, make global warming of our precious planet much less iffy.
Rondo in spring. Green is the color of hope, a procession as spring ephemerals in succession open their delicate blossoms low on the forest floor, season's first faint glow, for grateful eyes a stirring attraction. New life rises in greater profusion from withered remnants of winter's destruction. These graceful blessings springtime bestows, for green is the color of hope. The changing hues advance in progression of yellows, soft ochres, and reds, the selection a palette that steadily changes and grows, lifts up life forces long hidden below. New growth rises strong, though winds may blow, for green is the color of hope.
We now invite you into the time of giving and receiving, where we give freely and generously to an offering which sustains and strengthens our ongoing work. You'll see on the screen that you can donate directly from our website, fusmadison.org. You'll also see our text to give information there as well. Baskets are being passed for those who are here in the room. And we thank you for your generosity and your faith in this life we create together.
We gather each week with the losses and the celebrations of recent days in our hearts. We share them here knowing they are held in love and in support. We light a candle of memory and sorrow for the life of Frances Johnson, who passed away last Sunday at the age of 98. We send our love to her family who are missing her gentle spirit and her loving heart. A memorial is being planned for October 25th. Please watch the red floors for more details. And we are asked to light a candle for a member's sadness over the death of their cousin Franco, who passed away this week in Calabria, Italy. He was a kind, curious, and talented man. His garden and violins will be remembered by all of us. And Judy Troya asks us to light a candle of memory for her husband, Mel Troya, who passed away on June 3rd. We are holding a celebration of Mel's life at the Cress Center on University Avenue on Saturday, August 23rd at 2 p.m. And we light a candle for all the joys and all the sorrows that live in our hearts. May we know they are held in love. Let us join together in a moment of contemplation with this poem from James Cruz, A Prayer to be Changed. I ask for just the slightest shift in my thinking, the kindest sifting of my busy mind, so only wonder and peace are left behind. So that as I walk in sleet on this spring morning, I can see even these muddy ruts made by careless trucks on the forest trail as harbors of miracle, knowing they will fill with enough snowmelt and rain for tadpoles to swim in come summer, until that sunlit instant when they feel the flexing of legs in the water beneath them and leap out onto the ground, their bodies having decided by pure instinct alone to be soft and alive in this world.
Now I invite us all to rise in body and/or in spirit so we can sing together our closing hymn, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. This advice from a raindrop. You think you're too small to make a difference? Tell me about it. You think you're helpless at the mercy of forces beyond your control? Been there. Think you're doomed to disappear, just one small voice among millions? That's no weakness, trust me. That's your wild card, your trick, your implement. They won't see you coming until you're there, in their faces, shining, festive, expendable, eternal. Sure, you're small, just one small part of a storm that changes everything. That's how you win, my friend, again and again and again. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for the postlude.